Hello, ladies. I'm trying something new today. If you do listen to me on YouTube, you will not see my pretty face. You'll just see a picture as I'm on a change of location and out of my normal setting. And I decided to use my phone instead of my computer. Anyway, don't know why I needed to tell you that, but this is Tanya from Menopause Made Easy with Tanya, helping you thrive after 45. And today I'm going to kick off a brand new mini series all about sugar, why we crave it, how it hooks us, and most importantly, how we can take back our power. All right. So I have my book actually, Cookie Dough in the Dark, beside me, and I just reread a chapter 2, and this section is about the first step to admitting you have a problem. And I wanted to jump in, and I'm never going to write another book. That's why I started this podcast many, many years ago. But I wanted to add some insight into the obsession that unfortunately we all have with sugar. Most of us are eating too much, myself included at times, which is crazy. But this is why today I want to talk about the chemical addiction to sugar. And by sugar, I don't mean, it's always this like cookies and cakes. It's pasta, it's bread, it's juices, it's pops. It's sugar is added to so many things today that it wasn't added to 30 years ago. So we are eating more sugar even if we don't realize it. And so in this first episode, we're going to talk about the chemical side of sugar addiction. I'm going to make it fun and joyous and helpful. Okay. And what it does to the brain and body, and why just one bite can feel impossible sometimes to stop. That's me, and how awareness plus small shifts can make all the difference. So, as many of you know, I did write a book called Cookie Dough in the Dark, and it was my life for years eating a lot of sugary items. And I was one of those people who couldn't stop at just one bite. The moment sugar hit my mouth, it was like I went into this unconscious trance. I'd eat half a pie, way more ice cream than I needed, or copious amounts of my homemade cookies and baked goods. My ability to regulate just wasn't there. I have close to zero interest in any store-bought item. My sugar is bakeries, homemade stuff. So it's interesting. I always ask people to just really get clear on where their sugar is coming from. I, at one time, just thought it was a lack of willpower. Okay. I didn't understand at the time that this wasn't a lack of willpower. It was chemistry. Sugar was literally hijacking my brain, and it's hijacking many, many, many of our brains. Okay. And today I still eat sugar. I've done a lot of work on the habitual, emotional, and social sides of my relationship with it. I've also learned how my brain reacts to sugar and how to create strategies so I don't get pulled into that trance. I still at times will overeat sugar, but it is so much better. And I have a very clear understanding. Whereas once I was really unaware and oblivious. Okay, so what is sugar exactly? Let's make this really simple. Natural sugars are found in fruits and dairy and some vegetables. Okay, those are natural sugars. There's fiber, there's micronutrition. It's, a better choice. Then there's added sugar. And this is the kind that food companies sneak into bread and sauces and yogurt and even a lot of foods that they classify as health foods, which is very sneaky. You must become a detective for reading labels. Okay. And then there's, the sugar that, obviously we put in our own baked goods, etc. Right? Like just the sugar, the brown sugar, white sugar, molasses, honey, flour. It's all the same. Your body sees this all the same. It doesn't matter if you eat a potato chip, popcorn, a, a, a fruit juice, a pop. It all goes into glucose. Okay, so somebody will be like, Tanya, but I'm eating honey instead of white sugar. And I'm like, well, it's good that you're eating local honey. It's got a little bit of immune boosting in it. It's, local to the area. It maybe has a little bit of micronutrition, but your body still sees it as glucose. At the end of the day, your body sees fat, protein, and carbohydrates. Now, our body needs glucose for energy, but when we eat added sugar, okay, in high doses, it overwhelms our system. Or if we're eating sugar from baked goods, etc., it overwhelms our system. Now, what does the brain do on this sugar? Now, here's the wild part, everybody. Sugar lights up the dopamine reward pathway in the brain, the same one activated by alcohol, nicotine, and even drugs. And some of us have more of an issue with this than others. I definitely have a very high affliction to eating sugar, and it lights up my brain like a pinball machine, having a very good time. All right. So again, this may be mild for you. It could be moderate. It could be intense. I definitely have the intensity. And this is why sugar feels so good. Dopamine says, yes, yes, let's do that again. Let's do that again. All right. But over time, the brain becomes less sensitive and you need more sugar to get the same pleasure hit. And I actually talk about this on, I think it's like page, 28, 29, 30, in and around this area, or even on page 31. Point number 2, you need sugar to keep you going. All right. And so you need more and more to get the same level of dopamine reward. I've done podcast episodes on dopamine, so you can listen to those. So when you think, why can't I stop? It's not that you're weak, which is what I thought. It's not because you lack willpower, which is what I thought at one point in time. Boy, did I berate myself. It's your brain chemistry doing exactly what it's wired to do. I'm going to read that again. You can't stop sometimes because it's your brain chemistry doing exactly what it's wired to do. So go easy on yourself. And during this episode, this little mini series, I'm going to give you some solutions, some things to practice. But I want you right now to just love yourself. I want you to love on yourself, because when I stopped berating myself and had compassion and understood that this is how I was meant to function, I learned to work with myself as opposed to resisting myself. The blood sugar roller coaster. So I want to just mention this, and we all know this, that sugar messes with your energy. You eat it, you get a blood sugar spike, insulin rushes in, then you crash. You feel tired, cranky, anxious, and your brain screams, get me more sugar. And it's a vicious cycle that keeps you stuck in cravings. I've done a lot of episodes regarding this and cravings, and you can pick up my 5 hacks to cut your cravings at either moveyourbody.ca or vibrantlivingwithtanya.ca. There's a 5 hacks to cut your cravings freebie, and it really helps to level out your blood sugar levels and decrease your cravings. Okay, so back when I was talking about your brain on sugar, why do some of us light up more? Because not everyone reacts the same as what I just said. Some people are mild, some people are moderate, some people are intense, which is what I was like. And some brains are just more dopamine sensitive. We also can have hormones in midlife, which can lower serotonin, which is our feel-good chemical, our dopamine, which is a reward, making sugar feel even more rewarding. So I know some of you have said to me, I never ate sugar, and then I hit midlife and I'm just craving it more than I ever have. So that can definitely be something to do with your hormones. And this is why so many women in this perimenopause, menopausal journey, um, like have these cravings skyrocket, right? So it's not your imagination. Your brain chemistry really has changed. So again, don't resist it, lean into it and ask yourself, what's going on? What am I craving? How can I learn to balance my blood sugars? How can I reward myself other than eating? And these are questions I didn't even know to ask myself, um, when I was first in this sugar insanity. And I write more about that in my book. All right, so this chemical trap, food companies know about it, and sugar is intentionally added to make products more addictive. More like I want more of that. And it's insane because there is sugar in pasta sauce, there's sugar in crackers, there's sugar in salad dressings, and they're designed to keep you coming back. But once you see this, you realize again, it's not a personal failing, it's a setup. Remember, these food companies want to sell more food. Their whole, I heard something great the other day. Their whole kind of motto is, they had a great line. I can't remember what it was, but they don't want you to stop eating their product. How can we make this addictive so that you want more? That's it. That's what they're trying to go after, is for you to eat the whole bag or the whole box and have more. But through awareness and small steps, so I always say simple shifts done consistently over time, all right, you will begin to recognize yourself perhaps in my story. So if sugar feels like it has a hold on you, I'm going to give you some practical tips of what helped me. All right. So if you find yourself eating more sugar, I'm going to call this a trance, because sometimes I can get into this trance of eating sugar and then I want more and more. And this is the molecule, dopamine is the molecule of more. And so sometimes I'll be like, oh gosh, it's my dopamine talking. Okay, I got it. And I take it off myself. It's not, I'm not like, you're weak, you're so stupid, why are you doing this? It's like, oh my gosh, dopamine. Wow. So, you can name the trance when you find yourself heading for whatever that sugary item is. Okay. You can pause if you've had more than you've already should be eating. Okay. Or want to be eating. Just say, oh my gosh, I'm being sucked into this sugar trance. Or, oh my gosh, this is dopamine, the molecule of more. Oh, I get it. Okay. And this little awareness can interrupt that automatic behavior that is happening. Eat protein first. So protein slows down the blood sugar roller coaster and reduces those hard crashes. So get some protein in first. That will help you to feel more full as opposed to just eating empty calories, which then your cells are going, I really didn't get any nutrition. I need more food. I need more food. Actually, they're asking for nutrition is what they're asking for. Okay, so you're going to give them nutrition by eating some protein. And then hydrate, because sometimes cravings are just dehydration in disguise. Add in your own natural sweetness. So I'm a big fan of buying everything plain, full fat plain, no flavored yogurts. No, no, no. Okay. And add your own apples or berries or a little bit of maple syrup or, excuse me, honey. And you can satisfy without these, first of all, uh, anything that says natural flavor shouldn't even go in our mouths anyway. It's a chemical concoction. I'll just leave that at that. I've done episodes on that. But you can, you don't trigger exactly the same pathway because you're not getting artificial flavors and artificial ingredients. And so you can just add your own. I'm going to leave it at that. Add your own. And then if you have foods that really trigger you, okay, just practice not having them in your house for a while and see how you feel. That's it. Okay. And I did a great episode. Oh, I'm yawning. Excuse me. I did a great episode called the shopping, I think it's called Shopping Cart Detox. Great episode to listen to, because the reason you have this stuff in your house is because you made a crucial decision when you were at the supermarket to buy it. Okay. So if you can stop it from coming in your house, you've already won part of the game. And if you have to make it from scratch, okay, then you're going to put some distance, some time between you actually having the craving and then having to make it. And so, some of the things I'll do instead is get like a date with a pecan and eat that instead, or have a prune or apple and peanut butter. So it's something sweet, but not, a cookie, cake, whatever. Okay. So try to just reduce your trigger foods at home and see how that helps you. And I want you to hear this clearly. If you struggle with sugar, it's not about willpower. Your brain is responding exactly the way it's designed to. But awareness plus strategy can change everything. And today we looked at the chemical side of sugar addiction. In the next episode, we're going to dive into the emotional side, how sugar becomes comfort, a coping tool, and sometimes even our best friend, which was my story for a long time. Unbeknownst to me, the chemical addiction part of it, but sugar food was definitely something I used for comfort. Because as I've said, sugar is never just about sugar. And I'm going to even put some food in there, even though you guys, we don't overeat steak or broccoli or Brussels sprouts or those more nutrient dense foods. So sugar does get a grip on us, okay? And it is much easier to overindulge in. And again, when I talk about sugar, I'm also including flour and sugary things. Oh, I don't know why I'm so tired. Okay, so thanks for being with me here with me today. If this resonated, share it with a friend who's battling cravings, or maybe you're battling cravings and this has just been such a release to know that there's nothing wrong with you and that you can take another step to help yourself. You are not broken. You are human and your brain is doing its job. So thank you for being here with me today. Please share this with your friend, family. Please rate my podcast. That would be lovely. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you've read my book, Cookie Dough in the Dark, thank you. I appreciate you reading my book. And I wrote it almost 10 years ago, but it's still very relevant. And I wanted to update some information as we go along in this little mini series. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Bye.